honestly, I was kind of thinking that the best way, in my opinion, the most simple way is just fake an arrest. Get me in the cells. They can't do anything down there.
We could probably do that, of course. Or we could meet plain clothes, off duty, maybe somewhere far from, you know, just... we can appear like we're hanging out with friends. But I'll get that set up. I'm going to get you a new phone. We're going to get you a way of contacting us. Or where we can talk back and forth. I don't want to risk this. We've had too many Charlie Idas in the past get hurt. So, it'll be a slow process, but it'll be worth it.
I don't just want to be a CI, though, Slacks. I want that to be clear.
I understand that.
Because I want to be a CI. I'm telling you this also because when I'm done with my expungement, the first thing I am doing is walking into PD, and I will take an application or an interview or whatever.
Right, and as soon as they know they applied for the police department, they'll do everything they can to make you forget all the things you knew about them, right? And that's why I'm not saying this because I want you to be my criminal informant. I'm saying this because I want you to live. I want you to survive. I want you to be able to do what you said, lay it low, get your record expunged, and eventually apply to the PD and hopefully get accepted.
Can you be honest with me?
Of course.
How bad is it gonna be when even if I have officers that would vouch for me and stuff like that? How, I'm basically trying to ask, when I get expunged and I apply, I don't want to have to sit for a while, you know?
Right. And that's something I cannot make a promise on, or lie to you about, or giving you false hope here, DJ. I don't handle recruitment. I recommend people. I give references. But your work with us and what we're doing right now is here a tow truck. They drove away. Your work right now, what you're doing with us, obviously could be good for your resume to show, hey, you know, this person has done this. They want to help out. Their actions speak louder than words because of what they've done. And everything will be documented for SIB and your involvement. So when the day comes and you apply, you can say, okay, we definitely recommend this person. This person is trustworthy. We've worked with them. They've definitely changed, and we believe will be a great fit for the PD.
So what can I do now other than...
Change your ways, be a good person. Shows that you have good values, principles, and morals that reflect the LSPD.
Look after yourself, be very careful so you make it to that point.
Very careful, and like I said, do not be very friendly with cops in the public, because the BBMC's got eyes and ears everywhere, and that's not the only gang down there in Vespucci. Them getting attacked and hurt affects other gangs, like for example Chang gang, who's down there as well with them, who basically calls the shots, right? So it could have a ripple effect, and I'm saying that it's not a BBMC matter, this could be a Vespucci matter. So, lay low, don't bring any attention to yourself, make them forget about you, if you can.
Yeah, I've pretty much cut every single bit of amount. There is a...
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. There is one thing that I think is a bit important.
Is it involving the homicide or the murder of somebody?
Aziz.
Oh my god.
You know, when this conversation was over, I was going to ask you about it. I read your name a long time ago in the report, and I've been thinking a lot about you without you even knowing. We have very little on the day of Aziz being taken, and the only little bit we have is a half-informed comment made in passing by a certain DJ.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about that?
I know who did it.
Oh
I know
my
why.
god!
Well, I think it's pretty obvious who did it, but
Who,
I know two of the people involved.
and who are they?
God, this stinks for me to have to say.
It's Mr. K. I know for a
told
fact it's
Thornworth
Mr.
that
K.
Cao Mao was not directly involved, but he was in the plane when it happened.
Or Eugene. If there's a Mr. K or Eugene, it has to be one of them.
And I personally have heard from the same people I heard the cow thing from, which
Oh, it's JP, you're right,
is
you're right.
Cao himself.
So he told you himself that he was there. That
he was
day it
involved,
happened?
that they kidnapped him from a traffic stop, and that they took him on a plane.
Did he mention who was there?
Pretty sure they said Lil Tugs was also there.
Oh, Lord Tugs! I'm only that
Those
thing,
are
huh,
the two
man?
names that I have, Tugs and Cow.
Did they mention anyone else?
Chat, it doesn't matter what we know, though. It's what you can prove,
I don't
man.
think so.
You always know that. It doesn't matter
It was
what...
just, I actually can't think of any other names. I
You-
know
you know-
Cow, Tugs, and they kidnapped him from the traffic stop and pushed him out of the plane.
Do you know why? Or did he at least tell you why?
Why they did it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed a cop to put in the prison for the attention. Sorry, that was a really bad sentence. They basically needed to have a cop in the prison to make you guys go there, from my understanding.
So,
It was
so you
bait.
are you sure that it was Tags and Cow?
Yeah, that's what Cow is. I was sitting in La Puerta. You know what? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I was doing. I was sitting on La Puerta watching
Selling
a
drugs.
bunch of people sell weed by that pool. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
By that. Yep.
Yeah, by the apartments, right?
Yeah. You got. Cow was selling. He was giving people a bunch of food from his taco place, and he was saying that, oh, we just did a job with CG for like the first time, and it was fun, this and that. And I asked him, oh, what'd you do? And then he told me about, oh, we dropped Aziz into the prison from a plane.
Interesting.
Like, actually, bar for bar.
So how does when does he mention the other name that you just brought up?
That was mentioned later when everyone was kind of in a group talking about it. I don't know.
No,
if it was Cal
we have
directly
3
that
days before the
mentioned
statute of
Tugs'
limitations is up
name,
for
but I remember it
Aziz
being
murder.
brought up as him being involved.
You know-
A lot of people on that block kind of just talk because when people are selling down there, they feel very bored, so they just kind of talk randomly.
I mean, selling weed is a social event, isn't it?
Anybody else being in the
That's the whole
plane that
purpose of
day?
selling weed. It's supposed to be like a social thing you do down the block, you know?
I didn't, unfortunately. I just know it was whoever was outside that time, most likely. If I had to give you, like, from a detective investigation standpoint, I would have to guess that whoever wasn't in prison at the time that was affiliated with CG was probably
Yeah, the prison is
not there.
lawless, but kidnapping somebody
people, if you had the
outside the
chance to
prison and
just
throw them
leave
in
that
there
plane, would you
is
say?
against the law.
3 or 4, probably, at least.
You know, I just want to say that I don't think there is a more important case in the city right now than Aziz's. He was a pillar of the PD.
I would say
He
Solomon's
was
pretty big
killed,
too as
and
well.
in 5 days, that is all that's left to find who did it. And
He's
to
the
be able,
reason that I'm changing.
is Aziz?
His death fucked me up.
Wow, she cared about Aziz?
Hey, he was the only cop that I could actually look at, I could talk to, and I could say, if I was a cop, I'd want to be just like that person.
Can you please recall, to the best of your ability, where you heard tags be mentioned? Like, did you remember seeing somebody say it? Like the context in which it was said?
Look at that fucker Nino Chavez around, man. Can we perma Nino Chavez? Is that possible? Can I get the perma whitelist, please, in NoPixel?
All in like a circle at that hotel place. They were selling. I wasn't. I hadn't been selling for several weeks at that point. There was Dundee, Tommy. I think Kaiba might have been there, or it was Rusty. Cow, and I think Pigeon might have been down there. I know Paris just came down in her pink car. I don't remember what kind of car it is. I think it's a Vigero. I don't remember. And she was saying, "Oh, I have a present for you," and she gave Rusty a bunch of food or some shit.
You said Pigeon was there. Do you recall Pigeon saying anything?
Pigeon? I feel like he's the one that might have initiated it, but I genuinely, I don't want to misspeak.
Initiated what?
The conversation about Aziz.
Interesting. How? This is gonna be really hard to pin down because it was so long ago. But do you recall what time of day it was and how soon after the incident of Aziz dying did this rendezvous take place in La Puerta?
This was, I think, a day after. And
so this was the following day?
I believe this was the following day, yeah. And I don't want to, I really don't want to absolutely 100% say that it was Pigeon for sure. That said anything about that. I do know that Tug's name was mentioned in that circle conversation that involved Cow and everybody down there, the BBMC guys.
So pretty much it's common knowledge in that.
Apollo's making a new cop character, chat.
Circle of people.
I think he might be joining the BCSO, but I'm not sure
about it.
It's kind of sick how open they were about it, if I'm being honest.
That's because they don't care. That's why. These guys are barbarian savages, animals. That's how they act.
That's where I kind of realized I was in the wrong place.
I want to ask you something else. And if any of this is too much, and you just let me know, okay?
Go ahead.
The day prior to Aziz dying, there was a massive shootout in the courthouse. Do you recall that?
The shootout in the courthouse?
Yeah. The one that was videotaped?
Oh, what about it?
Do you know anything about the prior planning of that event?
I unfortunately do not.
Okay, that's fine. Just a shot in the dark.
I wanted to ask you something that was not about the Aziz case whenever you're done, of course.
Yeah. Whenever you guys are done with
Let me know when to pivot.
Go ahead, Slack.
I wanted to ask you about Solomon Walker. Do you know anything about that? As far as his involvement, city council, anything you heard in the streets during your time with the
I've
BBMC?
seen him go in the house, Mr. K's house.
Interesting.
Cul-de-sac.
When was that?
I couldn't give you a time. In the last month, I'd say it's like a good time frame.
Do you often see him with members of Chain Gang, or when do you usually see him?
I wouldn't say often.
Hey, what up, Sonny?
I would see him. I wouldn't see him much. I feel like I'd see him more with what's their name? The other group.
The Manor.
I don't think I've seen him with CG too much. Hell, I feel like I've seen him with ADMC more than I've seen him with even the Manor too.
Hmm. Okay.
I do have my own speculations, but I don't have like any direct like information about Solomon, I'd say.
What are your speculation? I'm kind of curious.
Well, seeing as the streets have kind of been talking a bit, and Solomon was kind of like sussed out in a way, I guess, because it didn't appear like he got shot. So people were kind of suspicious that he knew. Or knew something about it.
Okay.
So I have my own suspicions that he might have knew something was gonna happen, and if he did, that would be oof.
All right. Like I said, I'm just kind of curious. I like to hear what the streets are talking about, because sometimes there's just some truth to it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we know; it's what we can prove, right?